If you've ever made a careful, thoughtful budget and then watched it fall apart anyway, I want you to know something before we go any further. That might have been exactly the right system, just a completely wrong time of your life. Studies show that roughly 9 in 10 people are budgeting in a way that's actively working against them. Not because they're doing it wrong exactly, but because they're doing it right for the wrong season. There are actually 2 very different ways to budget correctly, and most women are using the wrong one for the season they're in right now. That's all it is. That's the whole problem. So stay with me, because once I show you which one belongs where, the whole thing gets a lot simpler. Hi there, my friend. Welcome back. If you're new here, my name is Sarah. I'm a certified financial coach, and I help midlife women stop spending on the life that they were sold and start saving for the one they actually want. If that sounds like you, stick around and subscribe. My free newsletter and my book, Fundamentally Frugal, are both linked below. Come find me there. And I want to thank Monarch for sponsoring today's video. Now here's the wrong way. Before we get into the right method of your season, I want to name 3 patterns I see all the time, because I want you to see yourself in here somewhere. Not to feel bad about it, but because recognizing the pattern is the whole first step. The first one, budgeting with no goal attached. When there's nothing you're actually working toward, a budget is just a diary of what already happened. It doesn't tell you anything you couldn't already have guessed. And it doesn't give you a reason to do anything differently next month. So it quietly just dies on the page, month after month. The second one, overcomplicating the system. 47 spending categories, every receipt logged, a different color for each area of your life. This feels thorough, and it is completely exhausting. By week 3, you've stopped looking, and the guilt of not looking piles on until the whole thing feels like one more thing you failed at. It isn't. The third one, and this is the one that explains most of the frustration I hear in this community, using the wrong method for your current season. The right way to budget at 32 is genuinely different from the right way to budget at 53. Same values, same desire for financial security, completely different approach. And almost nobody talks about that transition. Phase 1, the right way, goal season. So let's start with the season that asks the most of you. If you're actively working toward a big financial goal right now, getting out of debt, building an emergency fund from scratch, paying off your house, this is your season for zero-based budgeting. Every dollar you bring in gets assigned a job before the month begins. Income minus outgo equals 0. Not because you spend everything, because you told every dollar where you go before it has a chance to disappear somewhere you didn't intend. Pen and paper works perfectly for this. A simple app works great. A spreadsheet works. The tool is almost not the point. The goal is the point. Because when you're working towards something real, a credit card gone by a specific month, 6 months worth of expenses saved, a payoff date circled on an actual calendar, every small decision has something behind it. Saying no doesn't feel like punishment, it feels like choosing something you want more. I hear from women all the time who say budgeting finally clicked for them, and it's almost always because they attached it to something that actually mattered. A woman named Rebecca wrote to me and said that she had tried budgeting 4 separate times over 10 years and it never stuck until she had a number and a deadline. Then she was done in 14 months. Same income, completely different result. Now, here's the thing I really need you to hear. This method is supposed to be demanding. It takes real attention every single month. It's not meant to be your system forever. It's a sprint. A focused, intentional sprint toward a finish line. And when you cross it, the system changes. And that's where we lose people, because nobody gives them permission to change it. So here's what I want you to actually sit with for a second. Are you still budgeting like you're in a financial emergency when the emergency is already over? Because if you are, that exhaustion you feel every month, that's not a discipline problem, that's a mismatch. Phase 2, the right way, midlife season. Once you've crossed that finish line, once the high interest debt is gone or you're in a stable, maintained financial life, the goal changes and the method has to change with it. In midlife, the best budget is the one you almost don't notice. And the way you build that is by setting up 3 automatic layers and then letting them run. Layer 1 is your fixed bills: mortgage or rent, insurance, utilities, phone, subscriptions. Every predictable, non-negotiable expense goes on autopay. It leaves your account on a schedule. You don't decide, you don't log, you don't think about it, it just goes. Layer 2 is your future self: retirement contributions, savings transfers, any debt payoff amounts you've committed to. These come out right after payday. Before you see the rest, before groceries, before discretionary spending, before anything, automated and gone. This is the part most people skip because it requires a fresh decision every single month. But when it's automated, the decision is already made. You already paid yourself first every time. Layer 3, everything left after those 2 layers, that is your decision money. Groceries, gas, dining out, fun, clothes, the things that actually vary month to month. And here's the important part. That is the only number you're actively managing. Not every dollar in your life, just this one pool. Once those 3 layers are automated, your weekly check-ins isn't a reckoning. It's a 10-minute confirmation that everything ran as expected. Nothing unusual showed up, and you know where you stand in your decision money for the rest of the month. That's the whole system. Minimum decision fatigue. Maximum hands off. And the same philosophy works in daily life. I never leave home without snacks, water, and something to eat if I'm going to be more than a couple of hours. When food is already packed, the unplanned stop never comes up. Remove the decision, remove the drain. That is phase 2 thinking applied everywhere. Now, I want to stay right here in phase 2 for a second because I want to show you the tool that makes this hands off. Clear picture approach actually works in real life. It's called Monarch, and it's a financial tracking and planning tool that syncs with your existing bank accounts, credit cards, and investment accounts and pulls everything into one clean dashboard. It doesn't hold your money or move it. It connects the full picture so you can finally see it all in one place without chasing it down across 5 different apps every single week. The reason it fits phase 2 so well is exactly what I just described. Your fixed, committed expenses, your available decision money, your progress toward any goal you've set. All of it visible in one place, without you doing the math manually every single time. That's low decision fatigue. That's hands off. That's the whole idea. The goal tracking feature is where it really earns its keep. You set a goal, tie it to a real account, and give it a timeline. And when you sit down for your 10-minute check-in, you see exactly where you are and how close you're getting. That's the budget forward piece made completely visual. There's also an AI feature that surfaces things like unusual spending, category changes, shifts in your net worth, without you having to dig for any of it. It just shows up. Plain language, no overwhelming alerts, no judgment, just information. If you've been looking for one calm, clear place to see your full financial future without the decision fatigue of managing it manually, Monarch is worth trying. The free trial link is below, and it works on web and mobile, so your check-in happens wherever you actually are. There's something I genuinely did not expect when I simplified my own system. I started spending more intentionally on the things I actually love. That sounds backwards. But when the system is calm, when you're not white-knuckling zero-based budgets every single month out of season, you stop using money as emotional relief. The impulse purchases, the I deserve this spiral, the guilt spending, they lose their pull when you're not depleted. Decision fatigue doesn't just feel bad, it actually makes you a worse financial decision maker. The easier the system, the cleaner the choices. We talk a lot about spending less. We don't talk enough about how rest and simplicity are part of the same goal. Now, I want to tell you something a little embarrassing before we wrap up. I'm a certified financial coach. I teach this for a living, and I went through a fairly long stretch, where I was still running a zero-based budget like I was in a financial crisis, when I was not absolutely, categorically not in one anymore. I had just never given myself permission to change the system. I remember sitting at my kitchen table one afternoon, in what I would generously describe as my daily uniform, which is doing absolutely wonders for my laundry situation and precisely nothing for my on-camera credibility. Going through my monthly reset for what felt like the 400th time. And I just thought, why am I still doing this? The debt was gone, the emergency fund existed, nothing was on fire, and I was just maintaining, out of habit, out of guilt. Because changing the system felt like giving up on something or making me feel like I was a fraud. It wasn't, and I want you to have that same permission today. Whatever season you're in, there is a right way to budget for it, and you're allowed to change the system when the season changes. That's not quitting, that's knowing where you are. Everything I mentioned today is linked below, and the Monarch link if you want to see what Phase 2 hands-off approach actually looks like in practice. One question for you in the comments. Are you in a Phase 1 season right now or a Phase 2? Because it changes everything. And if this video spoke to you, don't forget to like, share, subscribe, and please watch this video next.